Welcome back, everyone, and we're still talking to the three candidates who made it here to talk to the people of Ondo State. They found it very important and very, very necessary to talk to those people who will vote for them. That's the kind of governance Nigeria deserves, isn't it? Well, many thanks for staying with us, everyone. Let me quickly go to Mr. Ibrahim on the issue of generating more funds for Ondo State if you are elected. You mentioned something that a lot of people have been reacting to online about the issue of personal income tax that you said you want to stop. And you said that you want to quickly get the business of government on the ground, hit the ground running. How do you hope to do that, knowing full well that in the first weeks of getting into office, that is one of your major sources of income?
We are going to abolish personal income tax. That is within our jurisdiction in Ondo State. We're in a recession, you just said that. You don't drive economic recession with taxation. People who haven't got salary for 8 months, you don't go back to them and begin to get taxes from them. So we eliminate completely, we call it tax integration. So as a state government, we're going to eliminate completely personal income tax. Come to your next question about revenue generation. I've told you about voluntary components. The issue of when you eliminate personal income tax, then you introduce that infrastructural development commission levy, which is just 10,000 naira. We are 3.5 million people. If 2 million we voluntarily pay that, that is 20 billion naira. That is even more than the taxes you have been collecting in the last 4 years. So that is one of our programs. Now, we have other programs that will bring about money. We're going to set up Ondo Oil, for instance. We're going to allow local government to have 10 gas stations, within their domain. That gives us major marketer of petroleum status in Ondo State. When you are a major marketer of petroleum products, you are entitled to 11 million liters of allocation from NNPC on daily basis. 6 naira is the profit on a liter. That is 6. Ondo is rich. I'm not going to tax them. I'm not going to ask them to pay through their sweat. Right. No more tax from the very day that I'm sworn in as the governor of Ondo State.
A lot of people will be holding you to your words, but Dr. Agunloye, talking about generating money for the state and how you hope to do that, we're talking about taxation. Are you happy with the way and manner people are being taxed at the moment in Ondo State?
Well, I'm not happy about this, but let me also quickly say that the recession that is in Ondo State is all about corruption. There is no recession in the world. There should not have been recession here. So once we repair the state, then now we can continue to work. And to repair the state, we will need to divide the work into 2 parts. The one that is a medium and long time one will not give you succor immediately. The one that will give you succor will be part where we want to train people. We want to train young people, because the main issue that we have on our stake is to turn the young people from being job seekers to job providers. And there are 2 things required here. The young people themselves, they're well talented. They have been said to be one of the best talented in West Africa. Then, of course, the enabling environment. We will provide that enabling environment for them. And in the first 6 months, we have targeted to train 125,000 people. And the process of this is very clear. And we will also give them access to entrepreneurship training. We also give them access to loan. The difference between some of the things that other people have been saying is that it will not be done by government. All right. I cannot trust government to do some kind of business. We will leverage on private sector.
Your time is up, please. Yeah. Let me quickly take you to another area that is very important in the lives of the people of Ondo State, and that is the pensioners. Would you increase their pay?
The pension?
The pensioners.
There's a pension for people who had...
Retired people.
Yes. Well, I do not know about whether it will be increased. What I know is that my mother is a pensioner. I want to go into government and remove the kind of suffering which they put her through just to come and collect money. So if you are on pension, you receive your money regularly. You resign or retire from government, you get paid your gratuity. Those are the things that we must look at immediately. Don't forget, we are in very bad poverty stage, that people are already beginning to think that to be poor and to be in poverty is a part of life. We want to put a stem on that and stop that, so that while we keep the corruption at bay, because the corruption that causes the poverty, we keep that at bay and we address directly the issue of poverty.
Minimum wage is another very important issue. It's 18,000 naira. That's the national minimum wage. And that's about, if I'm not wrong, about $60 or something. And when we wonder, if you are elected, some state governors are already complaining that they cannot even pay salaries. But considering what is happening in the country right now, 18,000 will hardly buy you just a few things in the market. Would you be looking at increasing minimum wage for workers in Ondo State if elected?
So it's sad to say that the issue surrounding the minimum wage is fraud. I served as Minister of Defense in negotiation with federal government on minimum wage. And then what do? They want to raise the wage of level 1 or grade level 1 from 14 to 15, and the guys on level 17 get their own raised by almost much more than all the aggregates to pay the minimum wage. That is where the problem is. Government must redesign what they call minimum wage. There's a strata of people who earn from level 1 to level 17. When you are adjusting it, it is the minimum one you want to adjust. But people hide under the adjustment of the minimum one to adjust everything. So what happens is that the salary increase for the minimum wage people goes to about maybe 15%, and the one for the high one goes about 45%.
All right, let me go from here to this way again, this time around, Mr. Jostle. Okay, the issue of pensions and the issue of minimum wage. Those are also questions that I would like you to answer to. Would you be increasing minimum wage, and what would you do with those states?
Thank you very much. The situation we have in Ondo State and generally in Nigeria about personnel is lamentable. People who have served their father's land and they cannot get remunerated. Some of them, wise, little ailments who make them lose their lives is pitiable. So the first thing I will ensure is that they are paid as and when due, like those in service, once we can go through and solve the problem that has brought us to this situation we are in Ondo State. Yes, the minimum wage today cannot be a living wage, no doubt. But the situation we are inheriting, 7 months salary unpaid, when government will have to strive to find ways and means to raise money to be able to pay the backlog of arrears and then start to pay as and when due. It will be inconceivable at this moment that the first thing I will do as governor is to start thinking about how we increase the minimum wage. For the first 1 year, it will not be on my agenda. But when I have strived by expanding the economic base, ensuring that more revenue coming to the government purse and that employment is generated, we reduce the level of poverty, then we can begin to look in that direction. What I want to be sure of is that people are getting their remuneration so that it can boost their productivity, can boost their capacity to work. Minimum wage will remain as it is until we are able to solve the problem of arrears of salary that I inherited as the governor of Ondo State.